Yo, what up, Internet? Welcome to Bricks and Beer, episode 34. Coming to you live from the rooftop of the Mediterranean Inn in Seattle from BrickCon. Sure, good times. So, you know these guys. Jeff, say hi.
I'm drinking water because I don't drink beer. There's some interesting beer action going on this weekend.
There is. We'll talk about that in a second. Say what's up, Mauro.
What's up, Mauro?
There you go. What up, Zach?
What up, Andrew?
So, yeah, we'll talk about this Dio and the con and all the bullshit. But real quick, two huge shout-outs to two dudes I've never met before this weekend. First one, this cat Daniel comes up to me. And he just kind of like pulls me aside and he's like, "Hey, I'm Daniel, nice to meet you. I really like what you do. I brought you some beer from Slovakia." How the fuck does this happen? So, huge shout out to Daniel. He brought us 3 different beers. You're drinking the Kozel.
It's got a goat.
It's got goat. You know, Mara's into goats. I have the Kelt. This may have the most awesome unintended tumble of your camera ever, depending on the wind.
Okay.
We'll see.
Okay.
We're on our
that
roof.
would have been great for
This
the
is
Viking.
this
There's
is
a Viking
thematic for Star
2 years
Vikings.
ago, but, I'm drinking. Who was the other guy?
So then,
Oh yeah.
Daniel also gave us this Corgan, which we will also drink, but we'll see if we get into that. So I'm like, my brain is exploding because a dude just walked up and gave me a beer that I've never met for just listening to me bullshit on the internet. So that's crazy, right? 20 minutes later, the homie Rich walks up and goes, "Yo, Andrew, I like what you do. I'm an EVO IPA guy. I brought you some beer." So there it is.
Evo IPA.
Shout out to you, Rich. How is the Evo?
Dude, the Evo is actually very good. I do like IPAs. Being, I guess the thing now, especially on the West Coast in California, there's a ton of IPA action going on.
Oh, this is a local beer. This is from Seattle, right?
It is a Seattle IPA. It is very tasty, actually. Very good. I'm a fan.
Yeah. So we've got all kinds of fucking different beers.
How's the Kelt?
It's delicious.
Yeah.
I like Slovakian beer so far.
Yeah.
So far, so good. Special shout out to Daniel. This could be total hearsay, and I could be fucking this up. But somebody came up to me last night, and we were having conversations, and they all kind of blur together. But somebody told me that Daniel had never been to a convention before, didn't even know they existed, watches my bullshit on the internet, and decided, instead of going to like one of the like largest conventions in the world in Germany, he would fly to the other side of the world and come here. So I'm just fucking amazed by all of it. It's pretty rad.
He got his life together.
He did.
Yeah.
He got his life together.
Yeah.
Got to Seattle, unlike some other motherfuckers who may or may not throw under the bus. Proverbial Blacktron Rover. You know what I'm talking about. Yeah. Anyway, so I guess we should talk about the Dio because we've.
Why don't we talk about the location real quick?
Oh yeah, you want to talk about the best backdrop of all time?
Yeah.
I feel like slightly professional because we have like actual like scenic things instead of the inside of a hotel. So yeah, they have a rooftop here. It's pretty cool. Aaron and I were up here earlier. Aaron is in the Master Build Wave 2 competition right now. Otherwise, he'd be crammed into this frame with the rest of us. So the homie Aaron and I are chilling up here, waiting for these motherfuckers to get back from Faux. And we set up the camera, and I'm like, God damn, this looks amazing. And then like people get married 5 feet away from us.
Yeah.
What up, internet?
What up? Right on time, dude. Here.
These guys
What do
just
you guys
got
want to
married.
hear?
Oh, shit.
I thought you guys were
Some other people.
wedding party.
Yeah, right, as I'm talking shit about it.
Yeah.
So, you know Carter Internet. That's Carter. Say what's up, Carter. Hey.
You gotta speak up.
And then you may or may not know Carl. This
How's
is
it
the
going?
homie Carl. Say what's up, Carl.
What's up?
Carl is a fellow Canadian, so he hangs out with the homies like Aaron and whatnot.
Yeah.
And Mario and I met you in Victoria, or Vancouver. And like immediately
At BrickCon.
At
Shout out.
BrickCon, shout out to Lee and you know all the BrickConites that make it happen. So one night we're sitting there, Carl starts telling us about this Blacktron drop pod dream project that he has. And Mario and I look across the table and we go, so yeah, we have a thing that this could totally work for.
That you need to build.
Yeah.
Do you want to build it in 4 months?
And it happened. It looks fucking great. So we've got this big giant dio. There's other people involved that are not here right now. Paz is here. Paz built all kinds of fucking cool little set pieces, like vehicles and robots and rovers and speeder bikes and all kinds of cool little bites of tasty space.
I brought them from Germany.
In
In case people don't know Paz.
Yeah.
From Germany.
He's hardcore, just
Yes.
jumps on the 10-hour flight, doesn't give a fuck, gets his life together, gets to BrickCon, unlike some other people. And we also have the Dr. Brahm. Brahm brought a spaceship.
Yeah.
That's super cool.
And a mech.
Oh, and a mech,
Yeah,
yeah.
first
He
mech
bought the Blacktron Stompy Stomp.
Rotating turret.
Apparently Brahms' first ever mech.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Which he built in 2 days.
Which, of course.
And which is awesome.
And then we got Will. Will's not here, but Will brought his Wormy Warriors. He brought literally 200 Bionicle bugs, including like a big central bug that's motorized. It's all kinds of scary and awesome.
Yeah.
And then Tony.
Oh yeah, and Tony.
after.
Tony brought the monorail today after seeing the setup over the last 2 days. And we were talking last night, and he was like, "Yeah, just that 6 inches of bare table at the back. Just throw a monorail in there." Which is
I feel like
Dude, we-
the monorail legitimizes it as a true
Yeah,
Silver Age
yeah.
classic
Well,
space display.
Sure.
And
Yeah.
we wanted to do monorail, but we didn't have any monorail.
Yeah.
Couldn't talk Fredo into
Fredo wouldn't sell me
Yeah.
his
hooking up
monorail.
the monorail. And we just, I was talking to Tony, and I was like, yeah, he's like, this needs a monorail. I was like, yeah, we just didn't have any. We really wish we had some we wanted to do. And he's like, I have monorail.
Yeah.
I'll bring you a monorail tomorrow.
In
And
like-
I was like, wait, what?
In
He
the
was like,
typical
"Oh, yeah."
Hafner style, it's
yeah.
like we talk about something and then the next morning they show up with the thing.
Yeah.
Like,
And it was full on an awesome monorail that has elevations at the exact right spots.
Yeah.
And just,
I think the Dio, like the Silver Age classic spaceness of the Dio, just made the monorail happen.
yes.
so let's
Right.
let's
The monorail from
let's
the
back
ether.
up and clarify that. So we've been kicking around these terms for sort of the Lego space themes throughout the ages. Golden Age is your standard classic
Right.
space, you know.
Galaxy Explorer.
striping,
Yeah, the blue and gray, you know, the classic.
the trans green with the gray and black.
Yeah, and then the Silver Age is sort of the themes that, at least for me, it was my childhood. So, you know, m-tron, Blacktron, Space Police, Futron.
Right. And Futuron is kind of like classic space light. It's pretty much classic space, but we have zippers and visors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. So
Visors being key.
yeah, and I took that one on because my Dark Age ending set purchase was the Star Defender 200. So
Which we have 2 of.
Yes.
yeah, now we got two like,
variants.
souped up
Yeah.
variants of that on launching pads right now.
So if you don't know this yet, when we built this Dio, each of us chose one of those 4 factions.
Yes.
Which is why Jeff is saying took on Futuron.
Yeah, we had and I guess we'll just let the cat out of the bag. There is more content about this that we've recorded over the last like year and a half
Yeah,
of
18
ideation and execution of this fucking monster thing.
Yeah.
episodes.
The lost
Yeah,
episodes.
so
Secret
Yeah.
lost episodes.
through the secret of the internet, you guys can go back in time and hang out with us and listen to us bitch and set a lot of expectations about shit.
On
Which,
us.
on us.
Yeah, past us.
And I gotta say, like, past us is kind of an asshole for setting on those expectations.
Yeah.
But the future us that past us was referring to, I think we came
Yeah, we
through.
pulled it out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's pretty good.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. And we had all kinds of crazy ideas, some of which, like, we kept sort of on the down low from each other as we went through it. And there's so much to talk about. We're going to do, kind of a fly through of the dial. It's huge. It's 16 feet by 4 feet with a 4 foot tall backdrop behind it. It's jam packed of stuff. Since there is so much to talk about, you guys just kind of want to go through and talk about like a favorite part, maybe, and we'll just do a round robin.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
do want to throw out, we were naming everybody who contributed, and
Right.
we forgot a couple people, so
Oh,
let's
yeah.
go back
Oh,
real
yeah,
quick.
yeah.
Ryan.
Will-
Oh, that's right. Great
Great
man.
idea.
Sorry, bro.
Yep. Built a couple, built a Mac.
Blacktron, little m-tron.
Lord of the Rings, built by
His name's Gerard.
Gerard.
So,
Oh, yeah,
Mr.
yeah.
Rando Calrissian of the con.
Yeah.
Which happens every time. Somebody shows up and is like,
we knew that we were going to be able to fold somebody's thing
Yeah.
into ours fairly easy. And his,
Right.
like, fits perfectly. Like, size-wise, it's perfect.
Yeah.
Everything
Yeah,
works.
just
Yep.
banking it all mean. It's good
We
stuff.
should throw out a shout out to Simon. He does have a mock on the
He
display.
does.
He has a Blacktron speeder
That's true.
that he contributed.
That's true.
Who else?
John did.
Oh,
Langridge.
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 Oh,
We
right.
forgot about Langridge because Langridge kind of fell off, and then out of nowhere he was like, "Oh, by the way,
Yeah,
guys,
and so
sorry."
And to be fair, to be fair, a little bit on that. Like Langrish had been sending me instant messages through Google Messenger that I just never got. So, and it's not like I was ignoring him or anything.
Why are you ignoring
And-
Langridge?
Yeah, and he posts in the Flickr group. He says, "Hey Zach, why don't you respond to your messages?" And I'm like, "Oh, I have messages." And I went back and looked at just like months worth of messages. Hey, can I get some clarification on this, or what are we doing and everything? But
Yeah. So John built 3/48 of snotted landscaping,
Yeah.
which is
Yeah.
we had designed the dio to have a modular split with the riverbed, which we did end up extending because
Yeah.
we needed the rim because there's
Yeah.
so much shit. And then having John's landscape on the far left of the dio, I think really helped.
Oh yeah.
Because instead of
Yeah.
yours just being all the way
Clump.
out,
Right, yeah.
it gave it some natural breathing.
It also
gives
allowed
it
us
some
to put
balance.
your ship on
Oh.
that side, like in
Yeah,
the
the
room, to
Renegade
spread
is
out
a
the dial.
wonderful
Yeah.
front bookend.
Yeah.
Yeah. It kind of it gives that implication to you of like
Yeah.
sort of access to the water table.
Yeah.
And then there's the backdrop.
Yeah.
Oh, that-
yeah.
Well, wait,
So
let's talk about our favorite parts, because that'll come out though.
yeah.
I am.
Okay.
Oh,
Well, all right.
backdrop.
Jeff goes first,
All right.
I guess. Go, Jeff.
No, I haven't even done it enough. Like, gotten my phone. I did like one video pass. Like, I'm a starfighter flying over this shit. You know.
Yeah, there's no bad photos.
There are so with the backdrop going on. There's all these shots I've taken. There's no AFOLs eating sandwiches in the back. There's
Yeah.
no
Yeah.
fluorescent lights. I'm not trying to take a picture of my white building with like white acoustical tile and white columns behind it. It's all Lego. It's all dream. It's
Yeah,
great.
it's very much
it's
like so.
really
This
something
whole
else.
project is basically a love letter to the catalogs of our childhood.
Yeah.
That's where
and
it's
it,
spawned. Yeah.
and it very much feels and looks and photographs that way. It's really cool. So let's talk about the backdrop for you guys if you're watching this without seeing the other
You should
thing.
probably go look at a picture.
It's
Yeah.
a giant 16 foot by 4 foot wide backdrop that this dude created. Do you want to talk about that process?
I think okay. So the inspiration for the motivation for the backdrop was Bricks LA. First Bricks LA, we took Space Knob,
Yeah.
and it was half done.
Yes.
And we took some really great pictures because at the end of con,
Oh yeah, we did the
Andrew and
stand
Zach
up. Yeah.
grabbed
The black tablecloth.
a black tablecloth
Oh,
and
right.
held it up behind, and we took some pictures, and it turned out great.
Yeah.
Then we get to BrickCon, and we have the completed double-sized diode.
That looks way cooler.
Right, has all these cool new
Yeah.
features, and we took a bunch of pictures, and all those pictures suck because there's people.
There's a dude with a sandwich.
Yeah, there's just
just hanging out.
you know, you can just see all con lights, everything.
Yeah.
So we were like, we should have a backdrop for the display, and we're like, well, do we want just a black backdrop? We could buy some sheets, and we're like, and then we were like, well, maybe we could get a printed backdrop and do like a star field. And I don't know who came up. I think
it was you.
I think I was.
Don't humble brag about it.
I legitimately don't remember.
No,
but
it was
but
you.
I was like, hold on a second, guys. I got an idea.
Yeah.
I don't know if I even told you guys what I
No,
was
you
trying to
didn't
do.
tell us.
Uh-uh.
You just sent us the photo.
You sent me
Yeah.
a screen cap of like it in work in progress at
Photoshop.
one point, and
Yeah.
I was like, "Holy fuck, this is gonna be awesome."
Yeah. So we took all of the old space sets on the box had this backdrop, and it was
Yeah.
differently colored depending on the theme, but it's this grid pattern of like this weird cyber skyscape.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's got a gradation of like a
Yeah.
yellow burst kind of at the bottom to get
Yeah.
like a kind of a sense of warmth almost
Yeah.
out to like the blackness of space.
Yeah. And I just like a challenge when it comes to these things because I'm looking at it and I'm like, we don't have any good high resolution version of this that we can
Yeah.
use, so
Yeah.
I'm just gonna have to create moves from scratch. And I'm like, wait, how would I do that? And I just start thinking about how I would do it, and then I have to try it.
Yeah.
And you know, an 800 megabyte Photoshop file later, and
Yeah.
Nice.
we have a
It took a while to
16 by
upload,
4
too.
foot.
Yeah. And then so we got this. You completed that like a couple months back, like file wise.
Oh,
Yeah.
a while.
And then we
It
got
sat
it.
at my house
We got
for
it
a
printed, and then like 4 days ago, Zach went to Home Depot and bought
Oh, yeah.
fucking PVC and threw
Yeah.
this entire thing together.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, it was never together until con. Like, I didn't hang it. I built the stand
Right.
and made sure it all fit.
Yeah.
One of the banners, it came in 2 sections, and one of the sections we actually never even looked at
Yeah,
until
which is
yesterday.
Yeah.
which is thankfully worked out.
Yeah,
That could
there were
have
no
been
errors in the printing. They didn't
It could have been
send
like
us some
grid lines
giant
going
little
like this.
pony.
Yeah.
Giant penis on
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Right. However, throwing together this last-minute construction project was not the most rockstar thing Zach did this week. That would be
Oh.
ripping all of the furniture out of his car.
Yeah.
But none of this happens without you, bro. Like,
Yeah.
seriously, at all.
Yeah.
Um,
Thank you.
Oh man, so this is one of those things where I want to show you guys a photo.
Yeah.
Because you
I don't
look,
have
you
it
look like
either.
a long distance endurance trucker,
Yeah.
like trying to drop weight. Like,
So I have a small
Zach
car.
is the one who brought everything here.
Yeah.
12 hours.
Yeah.
12-hour drive.
Yeah.
which is it's a couple like pallet jacks worth of shit.
Oh yeah.
Like,
Well, dude, when we there was 18 boxes and decent size. Like some boxes were 4 feet long, and there was no back seat, no front seat, no passenger seat. There
No
was a driver's
passenger
seat. But
It's like the car
yeah.
from Death Proof.
Yeah. And no, it was a fun trip, man. I will say, just getting it all together and meeting up with Moro to get half the dio, and then or 3/4 of the dio, I guess.
Yeah.
As you'll see in the
Yeah,
other
you'll
videos,
see the other
we did
videos.
Yeah.
a little bit of an Olympic torch run.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where Andrew gave his section to Jeff gave both sections to me, I gave all 3 to Zach, and then
yeah, it's been an epic journey just to get here, and like the whole time, because we've been doing this for so long. The idea generated basically a year and a half ago. I started building in February. I was the first person to actually like put bricks together. So it's been fucking working for 8 months, and the whole time I'm kind of thinking like, we're never gonna pull this off. Like something.
We've said that on the videos,
Even
we're
when I
like,
fucking like
ourselves,
hand off all this shit, I'm like, okay, I hope Zach doesn't roll the car.
I was driving pretty cautiously,
Yeah.
I will say. I tied down the boxes so in case I had to step on the brakes, they wouldn't fly forward and hit me in the head or go
Decapitate
through
you.
the windshield or anything.
nice.
So I'm interested to hear from Carl about his favorite part because Carl came
So
in.
vibrating.
Carl came into the dio, like you said, at BrickCon, and now that he's getting his first impression of it, it's not his first Lego show.
No.
But I do want to hear.
First big build.
Yeah, I want to
That's for
hear
sure.
about your what's your favorite parts and what do you think is the best part of the dio in your mind?
I mean, you can't gloss over the whole thing, like you say.
Sure.
Like, it's the Lego dream
Yeah.
from when I was a kid.
Yeah,
Just being able to
yeah.
build that,
Yeah.
that itself might be the best part. But for one detail, me and Morrow did some shaping with Carter Shrikes.
Oh, that was
Oh,
my favorite
yeah.
detail.
Okay, first.
Damn it.
Got you guys.
Oh, man.
I took one picture last night of that, and it's all framed, and it looks like it's straight out of like the idea book or something.
Yeah.
As the
Yeah.
spiders come in, they're banking it.
Yeah, I realized
We'll
I don't
cover
think
that.
we
We'll
mentioned
cover
that
that.
Carter was part of this earlier.
Yeah. Did we leave Carter out?
man.
That's a good thing you came by.
Yeah,
Okay,
we'll talk about that in the video when we do the flyby. 'Cause
Oh, yeah,
that is
yeah.
that is key.
Yeah, the
Like,
placement,
that's
the
though
placement
then
thing is just really
everyone's
cool.
key choice, or if that's everyone's favorite thing, then like second would be all the Blacktron guys on the base, on the Space Blue space, like the guys on the like radar towers. They're just blending in
Oh,
everywhere.
yeah, yeah.
That's
Nice, yeah.
I keep finding ones, and I'm like, wait a minute, there's a black truck guy there.
Yeah.
So yeah, the Blacktrons are like the infiltrators, right? And they're not necessarily like super like death squad guys. They're more like I'm gonna
Some
go
of them
in.
are.
Yeah,
Yeah,
some of them.
are.
I'm gonna go in though, and I'm gonna infiltrate the base. I'm gonna sneak in the little nooks and crannies of everything.
Yeah.
And because my suit is all black, I gravitate toward the black folks, and then you don't see them.
Yeah, yeah. There's definitely like the. Do you want to go, Mario? You said?
I'll take a pass.
All right. So, really?
I want to talk about the bugs.
I'm too modern because that was what I was gonna say.
Yeah,
And then
alright,
my next
alright,
favorite
fair
part
enough, fair enough.
is something I made. So
Yeah,
I don't
that's
wanna,
fine.
I'll
Oh,
cover
no,
that.
that's-
I'll
So-
cover that.
I'll let you
Alright,
guys.
cover that
So
one.
So-
I'm gonna take a pass.
I think one of the coolest things about doing these kind of projects is that we rap back and forth, we send a million photos, we fucking get on these video chats, and we have an idea of like everything everybody's building, but you never get to see how it all plays out until you actually just start smashing shit together,
Yeah.
putting things together. So like the fighter placement or the bug placement, like all that stuff it's like we had seen the individual pieces, but you never see them as like one big cohesive story. And that's one of the coolest things for me is like that magical moment of like watching this thing evolve, kind of take shape. And there's so many people involved that it's not just like one or two dudes placing things. It's like somebody comes in and does a pass and kind of moves things around, and then like another group of dudes comes in and kind of tweaks things, and it refines itself throughout the weekend.
Yeah, people are going like, that guy should be banking a little bit.
Yeah,
like, wait, Mac, over here. This is a good spot. And it's amazing. It's like it's a clash of all this preparation and all this improv.
Yeah,
you know, we got this huge base with like all this background, and then the jazz that happens. Like we didn't know yesterday morning how that was going to play until we started putting things down.
Well, and to be honest, like as much back and forth as we do, I'm just concerned about shit where it's like, is stuff actually going to fucking line up? Like, is the math going to work?
Right. Yeah.
I think we took enough pictures and had enough conversations about that, because that was definitely a concern of mine. Like,
it
is this going to work?
Easy.
But I think we covered everything. Like, Moro and I were sending pictures back and forth. Hey, here's where my wires are going to go.
Yeah. I'm so glad I have an unlimited text plan.
Yeah.
Because between just the four of us, we've probably sent 100 texts a day.
Some a day
For
the
like
last
3
2
weeks.
Yeah. So like,
with pictures.
I started building way long ago, but then like within the last like 3 months, these motherfuckers just start going crazy.
Yeah, I'm doing this. I'm taking brofees.
You're taking brofees?
No.
Oh, that's the new term.
No.
That's the new term. Coined by this one.
Yeah.
Brofies and stormies.
Where are you, Carl?
All right, Carter.
I can't move my head.
Make sure you speak up, Carter.
Oh, yeah,
but I want to
yeah.
hear about your, because since everyone's favorite contribution was basically your ships and how they're angled, let's hear what you have to say.
All right, so
My
like,
ships.
talking about like how you guys lined it up, the way you guys got the stripe across your two sections is
That's pretty
and
sweet.
that's really cool. It's not my
How about
favorite thing, but my favorite thing is in the inside of Morrow's Space Police base.
Yeah, that was my
Amazing.
second favorite thing.
Why don't you like talk
Yeah,
about
talk about it.
Okay, I'll talk about like, my very favorite thing in there is there's this hallway going all the way back with a single Space Police guy walking down it, and it's like it's got these big, the 3-paneled windows on there, and the light's coming through, and it's red because it's Space Police, and like you just see him down there in such a perfect vignette.
I just
walking into
noticed
this
that guy
command center.
today.
Yeah, I was sitting there
Yeah.
for like an hour, just like looking at everything, just like having this like a background for my life.
Yeah, it's
And,
super
it was
dense.
super cool.
It's super dense. There's a lot
So-
of fucking action.
When the idea first happened, driving back from Bricks LA, 2015,
Yeah.
Laura and I came up with this plan, and we were talking about it. And we were eating it in and out, and we were talking about what we kind of wanted to do. And we called Andrew like immediately on our way back and talked to him for like 30 minutes. He's like, I gotta go back to work. Yeah, that sounds cool, guys. Whatever.
It was such a bummer because it was like, I had just come off this awesome bro time weekend, and you guys were still clearly in the midst of it. Like,
yeah.
holy fuck! Okay, here's the idea. Okay.
But during this conversation, Moro said, I think I want to have like a table, which is like the war room, right? So there's like people all around the outside of this war room, and then there's like a central command planning table. But in the background, I have like an old phone, but I want to put like a video there where it shows like the enemies advancing and all that stuff. And I was like, yes, that needs to happen. Well, up until like the day before,
This was entirely secret until Thursday.
Yeah. Well, yeah. And so when I met up with Moro and we took our video, which you will see, are we still recording?
Yeah, but it's blinking, so I don't know what's going on. Keep going.
okay.
Going.
So
It's not blinking. We're good.
Moro and I are we're doing our handoff video, right? Which you'll see later.
Yeah.
The last episodes. We're taping it, and Moro mentions in his last episode that there was an idea from the first thing that made it into the con that was like a surprise. And as soon as the video stopped, I was like, I know what that is. And he's like, do you know what it is? And I was like, I hope I know what it is. And sure enough, he like showed me
It's fucking
video,
amazing.
and it's awesome because Moro has some mad skills, and he says, you realize this is what I do for a living, okay.
There's something about there's a science police trooper just to the right of the screen when you're looking at it. There's that detail.
Yeah.
When you nailed it to me, it's just like, oh, this is a room. They're in a room. Like these people are busy.
What's really crazy too is like we've had all this communication about what you've been doing, and you've shown us some of the animatronics and some of the interior of the base and stuff. But like, I was never able to take your sort of work in progress stuff and be able to like mentally configure it into what the actual build looks like, because you built the exterior last pretty much of the building. So like, I was just like, I don't know, I guess these are rooms. Like, I guess there's stuff inside there.
They're
I don't
seeing
know
all
how
the
I'm gonna see
scaffolding and
this.
Texas beams,
And like
like, what's going on?
catwalks and like really complex electronics and wires everywhere. And then like once you actually like set everything up, I was like fucking mind. It was pretty amazing.
And the crazy thing about the video is that Morrow perfected it to where when the video scrolls and you see like the positions of where the Blacktron are attacking, dude, that's where they are on the map.
After we
like,
watched the video, I was like, we have to put them in the 3 places.
Dude, it was
the
like,
table is the mini map of the overall.
Yes.
There's still more shit I haven't seen.
Yeah, Carl's like, wait, have I not seen this? This going on?
Oh my god.
Yeah, no, it's awesome. It's awesome.
I have been wanting to make this dio pretty much since I became an AFL. Even when in my castle days, I was still collecting trans red windscreens because I knew at some point some Space Police build was going to happen.
So let's talk about why. So Jeff Futron chose Futron Space Police. Like, what drew you to that, or what was it that was it your favorite set as a kid, or why did you choose to go with that path?
I don't remember. I was like a year late to get any of the original Space Police, but I had the catalogs that still had all the pictures. Some friends, I knew people who were older who had the sets, and sometimes I would go to their house and I would take all the parts and try and build the set. I don't know. I would have been happy building any of the 4 classic teams. I knew Blacktron was going to be pretty much taken because everybody wants to build.
That was the one we were like least worried about.
I think that's really what it was. Is I knew everybody was going to build Blacktron. I'm like, well, Space Police has to have some help. So I'm like,
and we were concerned up until towards
guy.
the end about the representation of Space Police, but then other people contributed ships and accessories.
Paz really came through with that. We spent so much time building these large, giant things that like nobody really had time to dick around and build a lot of small moments. And so he provided a plethora of shit. This is probably weird because the sky's changing. There's like church bells going off, the sun's setting.
If you
I feel
can't
like
hear
we're in
any
a
of this,
vacation video.
We'll try to get the subtitles working.
It's poking right out of my head right now. It's awesome.
So let's talk about ours real quick because we both kind of did m-tron. I feel like I almost want to call you Blacktron just because of your ship. But like, and some of the other stuff. But like,
I lived the m-tron life pretty heavy.
Me too.
It started because I did micro guard with Psy, and so I had a fuck ton of those little gate pieces.
The trans neon green.
So I built the tower, the Fistellator tower. That was like the first thing I built, and it's basically just like the hollow tube. And I figured I would put something in there eventually. And that kicked around for a long time. Like it was kind of weird because I knew that we were going to connect our 2 bases, but because I'm so impatient, I built quickly, and then I moved. So like fucking Dio had to like move from house to another house, and like there's just so much delay that like quite literally until Wednesday, Thursday when we started actually like really putting the shit together, I was like, oh fuck, they actually are consistent and line up and look like one piece.
I definitely want to say it looks like your base is one base, and that is maybe.
And we definitely did.
My favorite detail.
We did a lot of back and forth of like, you did the striping, and then I retrofit my shit to put the striping in.
And that's what I was going to say. You did that though. You did that though with a lot of other details too. Like you retrofitted the side of your base to mimic Jeff's rock structure.
That's true.
And you also put
fucking
fucking rocks.
You also put the exhaust port.
Well,
that's
Morrow. No, he built that straight up.
Dude, I was gonna say you were like doing such a good job of mimicking everyone else's style.
I just make everybody else do the work. That's why.
But dude, when our stripes, when you put the thing in there, and I looked at it, and I was like, wait a minute. The stripes on your corridors are exactly where I was like, oh my god. And it worked really well.
And there's, what's funny is like for the amount of m-tron shit, the only thing that I built that actually has magnets in it are those boxes and the little rovers, and that's it. Like, everything else is like very little magnets. I wanted to do like a big crazy floating magnetic thing in that tower, but that's like black wizardry I don't know how to do.
And Morrow's like smiling.
And Morrow's like, challenge accepted.
It's tough. I've tried
we'll have actual
magnets. How do those work?
Science.
We're gonna have actual floating spaceships next time. Thanks tomorrow. Right?
All right, so before we get out of here, because I kind of feel like number one, this is gonna go a little long. This weird lighting change is freaking me out. Let's talk about the con itself.
Yo, what up, internet? Welcome to Bricks and Beer, episode 34. What the fuck happened there, guys? I know. I want to hear what they had to say too. So let me tell you about what happened there. Technical fuck-ups. A day of technical fuck-ups. That's what was going on there. Cheers, guys. So, we wanted to record there. It's an awesome venue, obviously. I went to grab my computer. Me and the homie Aaron run up on the roof. Computer is 3%. Fucked. There's no plugs up there. It's a rooftop. Of course not. So we had to use Maro's camera as a backup. By that time, Aaron had to go do the master build. So we just went with it. And it was windy as fuck. And we had like little pillow tents around it. And it worked. But it kept blinking. And like every time it blinked, we were like, is it fucking recording? So what it did is it split the recording into 3 parts. And they decided it just couldn't split it anymore or something. So it just gave out. It was like, fuck you guys. So I guess you're lucky we got what we got. Yeah, I'm kind of bummed because I really did want to kind of get their takes on the best parts con and all of that. But I guess you'll have to talk to them. I can tell you about my takes. I'm obviously no longer in Seattle, no longer on Awesome Rooftop. Space Needle is not over there. I'm back home, made the journey home. It was a journey, but not like Zach's, not like team leaders. And we had a good time, man. The con was rad. Con was definitely rad. I had a couple of unique experiences. I don't want to talk for the guys, but I do want to tell you about some of the shit they did. So, Wacktron, my awesome Wacktron shirt, which is rad. You guys can't buy this. You can't have this. You gotta be in the inner circle. Sorry. But we fucking brought it, man. So, Aaron, the homie Aaron, went to go do the master build. He won. Out of like 23 people or something. It was impressive. I think it was more than that, actually. I think they had a bigger pool the first round. I did the first round, just hated it, wasn't feeling it, knew I wasn't going to go through. So Aaron went through, and the 5 finalists were really heavy hitters. Ryan Wood was one of them, who is a homie from back in the day, and a total like Lego professional guy now. Sean Mayo of the Mayos, who is a fucking crazy builder. They both built cool things, and the way they did the judging was cool because it was anonymous. They just let the builds speak for themselves. They put 5 builds. You came out, you got a little 1x1 round brick, and they had little pick-a-brick cups in front of each build, and whoever had the most, they won. So fucking shout out to you, Aaron. Good times, bro. Good times. And then we also took an unofficial contest winner, which the homie Carl took home. Competed in a rich tradition that is an unofficial tradition called the drunk build. It's a little dumb. I don't know. It's like you build a set, they make you drink a certain amount of alcohol. I did the one in Bricks LA, but that was more of like a fucking obstacle course, sobriety test, challenge thing. It wasn't just like build a set and drink some booze. But anyway, our boys Paz and Carl entered, and they just smoked everybody. And fucking Carl won it because he had like 3 less mistakes or something. So fucking the Wacktron crew bringing it hard at BrickCon. And then we won. We won Best Large Planetary Structure, which is like big space. They don't have a Best in Space award anymore, which I actually kind of think is cool because you're getting a category. Like, just because you won Best in Space, like there could be literally a small build that is the strongest build there, but that's never going to win Best in Space. So it should win Best Small Spaceship or whatever the fuck it is. So we won an award. That was pretty cool. We also won runner-up for Best in Show, similar to last year. This is the 2016 Madness catalog. And the reason why I'm picking this out, fuck yeah, bros. There we are. Honorable mention. Not a winner. Almost. You still get some free Lego, which is cool. Last year we got one of the big modulars, the toy store. It's a fucking store. And we split it. We just drafted it by polybags, so people just took polybags or whatever. This year, because Zach is a fucking crazy person and took all the seats out of his car, we were like, you can just have the set. Because his first comment was, I actually want the set, I'll just buy your shares. And we were like, fuck you, bro. Like, you drove literally 24 hours and you took all the seats out of your car. You are the most hardcore of A-foles. Really, like, I can't fucking tell you guys how, like, I talk to normies, like people that aren't in the Lego scene, and they ask me, oh, so how was your dorky Lego thing, and like, what'd you do? And I show them a big picture of a 16-foot wide dio, and they're like, oh, so you guys built that there? And I'm like, well, we built it before there, and then you take it there. And they're like, so how do you get it there? You ship it? And I'm like, no, I got a crazy homie. Let me show you a photo. I don't have it queued up, otherwise I'd show you. But one of the best parts about like the con wrap up is we break down the dio into the 18 boxes. We gifted the backdrop to Lee Ward, fucking space coordinator supreme, the magical wizard himself. So it'll see, usage of BrickCon and BrickCon, hopefully for like at least a couple years until the shit kind of breaks down. But I think it's like a fitting space backdrop and shit, so that's cool. And we packed up all these boxes and we had to take them back out to the car, and of course there were a bunch of people there. Like when we were offloading, it's really just, we were there so early. We were there like fucking super early Thursday. There was like tons of vendors just bringing in shit, so it didn't seem like, oh, you guys are crazy. But when we packed this thing down, everybody was like, how the fuck are you getting this back? And we're like, oh, let me tell you about Zach's Kia Soul. And everybody wanted to see this thing, so Zach fucking rides up, and it literally, it looks like the fucking Death Proof car. It's like one seat, bare steel everywhere else, and then you just stack the Lego in there. And even without the banner, it was still like a fucking full car. So props again to you, Zach. Fucking, we couldn't do this without you, bro. It's just rad. It was good. It's cool. So we also got a couple other things because of the dio. A vendor gave us these sweet m-tron stickers. I'm sorry I don't know your name, vendor at BrickCon. But they're pretty cool. Like, this is actual like UV vinyl stickers, so I could, in theory, put this on my car and rock m-tron forever. I'm not going to do that though, because Morrow did make some stickers for swag. So I got these sweet, unofficial official stickers. These are printed on clear. These are also printed on clear, but they're opaque. So I got Space Police and Blacktron, and then this one will go on my ride because I have an all-black car. I have to get my car cleaned. It's dirty as shit, and then this will go on there. So props to you, Morrow. Super cool. And then Zach and I, like Star Vikings 2 years ago, wanted to really like thank everybody for coming and doing this, and there's just so much hype around this one that it was like crazy, right? It's just fucking get 12 people, and there's a dude coming from Germany and Canadians, and it's a 1.5 year long process. Which, speaking of the lost episodes, I will post, I think at the same time as this, so you guys should watch. I don't know what order you should watch them in. Like, you can start at the beginning and end at the dio, but like it all depends. So anyway, we gave out these trophies, right? So Zach and I built some trophies, and we kind of knew like we were going to be exempt from them. Meaning the Wacktron Collective. So Morrow, Jeff, Zach, and Brendan and I, all, that's, Brendan's in there twice, Morrow and Brendan. So we were like, man, we're going to build all these trophies, but Zach really wanted us to like all get trophies as well. So he secretly built us, each of us, a themed trophy, which isn't even really a trophy. It's more just like a souvenir. So the whole dio, I complain about fucking rocks. So he gave me this trophy, and he wrote, "You fucking rock." And this is the Blacktron one. This is mine. And Jeff has the Futron one, and Mario has the Space Place one, and Zach has the m-tron one. So it's fitting. It's themed. And we have printed bricks that say Wacktron, but they didn't get there in time. So we hand sharpied all these Wacktron bricks, which I feel is even more appropriate than like an official printed one. So this is cool. It's signed by the crew and whatnot. So this will go up on my Lego Love shelf of bullshit. So it's super cool. So the die was great. Like, it worked out. I'm still kind of in disbelief that we all pulled it together. and I probably said this 20 minutes ago if you're watching this, but I just was like expecting disaster to happen the whole time, and we fucking pulled it off, and it was fine. So that's pretty cool. I also got a bunch of other shit from other people at BrickCon, which is pretty cool, so I gotta give them just a little shout out for different things. The homie Pascal, you remember that Blacktron mech I showed you? It had the clamp. It had the flat gear pieces in gray. And it looked way better with them in yellow, which I'm not sure if this is non-production or if this is you guys can't really tell if that's yellow or not. There you go, it's yellow. But so Zach looks it up on BrickLink one night while we're on this call, and he's like, they're only available in Germany. And I'm just like, hit up Paz, dude. And so he fucking hits up Paz, and Paz rolls through to the con with 4 of these straight from Germany. So the other 2 are in the mech, which is up north. But I have these 2, which is rad. Also from the Dio, I got one of the coolest things ever. And this is like, so when you build big dios and stuff, there's all kinds of action and everything. Everybody wants to tell like a million little stories, and that's the cool thing about having a lot of real estate is that you can do all this different stuff. But for me, I've always wanted to build like a Keith Goldman sized dio with like a single fig to have like a single moment, right? So it's like all about that moment. So in the midst of all this chaos, because it's 16 feet of like space battle and moon base and shit, there's, you know, the big m-tron or the Blacktron lander thing that Carl built, which shout out to you, Carl, it worked out perfectly. And striding out of it was this dude, and this dude's amazing. This is a pirated Chinese knockoff Blacktron fig that's inversed, and it's just phenomenal. And in contrast to all of the like Blacktron, you know, shock troop dudes like this running down ramps and stuff, this guy just sticks out so much. And it's fucking rad. So at the end of con, Carter was like, yo bro, I'm not gonna give you the non-production white visor, but here's this fig. Which is rad. So this guy is going on my minifig shelf. Also got some shit from the homie Ryan, Gray Bandit. Shout out to you, bro. I know you watch this. He gave me a couple of things. The first thing he gave me, which is really cool, is a build. So you guys can see this green little roadster deal here. The lighting and the colors are still a little fucked up in here. I gotta work on that, but whatever. So you see it's a lime roadster, and this is a transformer. So I'll do the quick and dirty transformation for you guys here. And we talked about this, so I don't think he's gonna be like, fuck you, Andrew, you're a dick. But like there's room for improvement in this. The articulation gets a little wonky at times, but it's pretty cool because it's like a functioning frame that I can kind of riff off of and build off of, and also like just anybody giving you shit they build, I feel like that's cool, man. Like that's pretty awesome. I have a little shelf that I'm kind of keeping shit like this that's coming from other people. So one thing he did is he left the chest like this, so he kind of had like a big fat beer gut kind of deal. So I did modify it. This is the only modification I've done, so that you can fold this up and collapse it just a little bit. So there you are. He's kind of like a green lizard man deal. So fucking rock on, Ryan. Thank you. Ryan also brought his fig bin and just like let us rate it because he was like, yo dude, I don't care about figs. So I was able to get something that I actually was looking for at the con that I was like willing to pay money for. Couldn't find it. There's tables and tables of like collectible minifigs and fucking every Star Wars fig and all like Marvel and DC and superheroes and all this shit. All I wanted was a crab dude. So I got a fucking crab dude. Man, look at that focus. This is like night and day. I feel like the show has taken a high point, yet the quality is still really shitty on the actual content delivery part where like the camera stops working or I throw beer on the ground. Oh, by the way, so quick aside, if you watch the Lost episodes, the first one that I recorded with Zach, way fucking back in March, I guess I recorded that right after episode 22. I don't even really remember what that one was about, but I was like, that was the worst one, 100%. No, episode 33 is easily the worst one. So, keeping the quality consistent? Sure, yeah. So yeah, fucking crab man, rock on, dude. This is amazing. This is from the Atlantis line. It has these like hand pieces. This is a little crab claw deal, and it's it goes in his hand. So it's like this whole thing just fucking thrills me. The other thing, so I got a couple other things. You know, the brick nerd shows up. He throws Duplo bricks at everybody. Fuck yeah. The theme this year was madness. So everybody was talking about the ska band, and they were doing the one step beyond thing, and Tommy and Ian were dressed in silly outfits, and it was good times. It's like the classic, you know, brick nerd Ian Heath hijinks. What else? Oh, I did get one other thing. Who the wizard himself, Mr. Lee Ward, gave me this on the last day. He kind of came up to me and like, it was just that like Lee Ward classic like wizard trick where he's like, Andrew, come here. Let me show you something. And then he like conjures up some little something. And so what he showed me is a Dorabot, which is this cute little robot, which is pretty cool. He built a bunch of these, so he gave them out to a bunch of people. And he's got 2 different claws, and he's super cute. He's signed by Lee Ward, so I feel extra special. The funny thing about this, and what he told me about this, he goes, this one holds extra significance, because I guess he had to wake up at 4 in the morning because he couldn't sleep, because he was like, I gotta build some Lego. Fuck, the con's coming. Like, you know how it is. You just get amped for this shit. So he gets up at 4 in the morning, and he doesn't want to wake up Flo. So he's building these things in the dark. So mine have mismatched hinge pieces because he built it in the dark, which gives mine a little extra character. So thank you, Lee. That's fucking rad. So yeah, that kind of like wraps up the gifts. I did buy some other shit. If you guys want to watch the other ones, you can click a new base plate. Look at this, dude. It's like aqua. It's rad. It's awesome. Totally gonna use this for something besides making you guys click on a dumb annotation that probably doesn't work. Nothing, right? Yeah. Okay. Fucking, so 2 last things. Shout outs, dude. Like special shout outs. Daniel. Bro. Crazy, man. Crazy. So, Daniel's the guy who comes up to me and is like, I brought you beer from Slovakia, and he hands me beer, and I'm so, like, overwhelmed by this. And I gotta apologize to the guy, because, like, every interaction he had with me was kind of at, like, the worst timing possible. Really only because he was seeing me in the hall, like, where the actual displays are. So it wasn't like he was seeing me at parties or, like, you know, outside of things. So when I'm at the hall, it's during setup. So I'm like engulfed in this like building this giant thing, which was when he saw me and gave me these beers. And I was so sort of like thrown by like a dude just giving me beer who I've never met from the internet. That I don't know, like we had a good interaction, but I kind of felt like, fuck, I should have just been like, give me your info, like we need to hang out, and, like I'll drink a beer with you, like I could have been a way better internet celebrity, the guy you watch on the internet, I don't know. So I kind of felt bad about that, and then the second time I saw him, I'd won a set, and he wanted to trade his set, and I was kind of thrown by that, and I think it was towards the end of one of the public days, and then I saw him right before we left, and I had a pretty good conversation with him right before I left. But the thing that I found out about before that last conversation, which completely blows my mind, is this dude's really from Slovakia. He really flew halfway across the world. And there are giant Lego conventions. Like there's the world's largest Lego convention in Germany. And this dude flew to this convention solely because I told him to get his life together and go to fucking Seattle. So, that's amazing. Daniel, I hope you had a good time, man. It was a fucking great con for me. It was awesome to meet you. Thank you for the beer. I was really planning on getting Slovakian beer to like tie this part to the other part. It didn't happen. It's also like a week later, and it's in the middle of the night. But anyway, so Slovakian beer, I fucking love it. It's great. I like Czech beer too, which I hope that doesn't offend you, but it's similar. It's got a nice, refreshing, crisp taste. What really tripped me out about a lot of the beers he gave us is that they all say like 10%, which I'm not sure what that's about, because the actual alcohol by volume is like 5, 6. So and when we recorded that, I was like, oh god, we're gonna drink all this 10% beer, just get fucking blotto, and there's gonna be bad times. And it wasn't. It was great. But they were good beers. They were nice, crisp, refreshing beers. I do want to try the ones that Mario and Carl had. So I'm on the hunt. And then also Rich, the homie Rich, like 20 minutes after I fucking meet this dude Daniel, this other guy shows up and he's like, yo, I'm Rich. I really like your work. I'm an EVO IPA guy. I brought you some beer. And he just fucking opens a backpack full of beer. And I'm like, what the fuck? And he's like, yeah, how many do you want? And I'm like, I don't know. I'm not going to take all your beer, but like, a 2? Sure. So I haven't tried the EVO IPA, to be honest, Rich. Like, this weekend, Saturday I was a little hungover. I was a little slow when we recorded this episode, and I was like, Zach, you gotta drink the IPA right now. I need the cool, refreshing Slovakian beer. But I do look forward to trying it. It's rad that it's made in Seattle. So I felt like some dude was like, bam, here's the beer I drink. 2 dudes. I mean, that's crazy to me. So thank you guys again. I guess I'll tell you about what else I got at con, and then we'll get the fuck out of here. And I did win a set. I won the Ultra Agents truck, the big truck with Terabyte, the big hacker dude, which is pretty rad. I really like the Terabyte fig. But then that cat Daniel comes up to me and he goes, so I just won this. This is the detective's office. And he goes, I really want that set. Do you want to trade? This is a better deal for you money-wise. And I was like, yeah, sure. Fuck, dude. And I felt kind of bad because, like, financially, this is way better. Now, granted, neither of us paid for these sets. These were both, like, free door prize sets. So I hope you're enjoying the fucking Terabyte, bro. It's a good fig. This is a really cool set. I haven't fully built this yet. I'm like a quarter of the way through. But it's pretty impressive. I've never owned any of the modular buildings. So this is the first one. I know a lot of people who just like have them, which is cool, and they look cool next to each other on a shelf as a town. But I don't know, I'll probably build this and then break it down, but I'll probably keep it together for a little bit. And then there are new Mixels out. So there's Ninja Mixels. So there's like a Master Wu Mixel with crazy horn parts. He's cool, I guess. And then there's this dude who's hilarious. He spins, because you know, that's what you gotta do when you're a ninja. No awesome, like, new cool parts. There's a third one that's a snake that comes with the Ninja Nixel. I'm bummed. It's the last wave of Mixels ever. So I bought all the trash ones. There's a silly fucking one with shovels. He eats stuff, which is pretty funny, because, you know, that's what you do when you're a roving trash can. He also, like, can shit it out the back. So, garbage. And then there's a Street Sweeper one, which has these crazy little, like, Street Sweeper pieces. And he's a squirrel, so that's funny. These are why I bought this. Let's get real. And then the last one I bought is literally the fucking dumpster. And this guy is my favorite. He is hilarious as fuck. He has, like, rotten fish inside of him. He's just a dumpster. Like, he's an anthropomorphic dumpster. It's great. And these are good parts. Like, all the Mixels are good parts. I feel like they're kind of the best deal you can get. Which is sad that they're going away. So, farewell, Mixels. You were good. You were good. So, yeah. So, before I get out of here, I got to address a couple of things. One, the fly-through, right? So I'm kind of on the fence. We have a fly-through. There's no actual narration. Like, we didn't get time to actually do the 0.5 episode that we've done for every other convention where I stand there and talk about obvious things. But we do have a video. So I'm going to stitch it to the end of this. This is the only edited episode of this. Meaning, I have to stitch 3 fucking camera files from before together so it makes sense. And then I gotta put this little outro on here and then do the fly through. So, it's inauthentic, sure, yeah. Or it's just better because you get to click one thing instead of 5. So yeah, next up, I'll do another episode. You know, I'm really kind of glad, like, all the shit is done. So I feel no pressure. Like, oh man, it's so nice. I've had that giant fucking Dio sitting on this table for months. Like, too long. And to not be able to talk to you guys, random internet people, about it, sucks. So, lost episodes. And then also, like, now I can just build whatever the fuck I want, and I don't feel the pressure of this, like, giant black hole of a project that needs constant love that just looks like fucking rocks. So yeah, I don't know what else I'll build. Maybe I'll build something on this silly underwater base plate. Maybe not. Maybe I'll build whatever the fuck I want. Maybe I'll sort some Lego. I got a big thing of unsorted Lego. I gotta handle that. Get my life together. I'm gonna put some minifig displays up. Get some Jeff Cross action going here. You know, got shit to do. It's post-con. So yeah, next con, January. Bricks LA. Boom. Pasadena Convention Center. BricksLA.com. There may or may not be a link there. Who the fuck knows? So anyway, thank you guys for watching. Thanks for hanging out in Seattle. If you fucking came by, like I met all kinds of new people. Connor, fucking special shout out to you, bro. Oh, shirts. There's Bricks and Beer shirts now. You can buy those. They're on sale right now at TeePublic. It's probably gonna be over by the time this posts because I gotta do some work. But I don't know. If you want one, you can buy one. It doesn't benefit me in any way, except for like hyping the show, which is cool. Supporting the show is cool. Or if you just want a shirt that says Bricks and Beer because you're cool like that, you can do it. Can't buy this one. Sorry. All right. Whack-tron out.